Hi everyone, welcome back to Sonya's Prep. For those of you that are new here, my name is Sonya and this channel is usually all about my Orthodox Jewish life and how I meal prep for my family, but because of everything that's going on, specifically in Israel, it's kind of been very hard for me to produce any kind of content. It just feels awkward and weird and inappropriate. And the thing that I think many people gravitate to, especially the Jewish women, is tefillah, which is prayer. And I wanted to do something special for the safety of the Jewish nation and Israel. So I decided to make challah. Challah making, which is chafreshat challah in Hebrew, is the process of making challah and praying over it and blessing it. And it's a time of prayer and reflection and just speaking to God. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing chafreshat challah, which is challah. I also posted on Instagram for those of you who don't follow me there. And a bunch of you guys are interested in doing it with me. So I'm going to be doing it like simultaneously, recording it here, posting it to Instagram so that we can gather as much women as possible to do this special mitzvah. It is hard to talk about it. It's emotional, it's frightening, but we're all coping in our own ways. We're all doing things in our own ways that we can, feel like we are a part of what's going on over there. So let's get into it. Let's roll up our sleeves and let's get prepping. First things first, I'm setting up my whole entire station to make the actual bread. This time I'm going to be using the Glix Bread Company. This is their high gluten flour, unbleached, and they have a recipe in the back that I will be following, so you could screenshot it for yourselves. And this is what I will be making today. It produces a really nice challah as well. It has eggs in it. Usually my favorite is the water challah, but this comes out delicious as well. Okay, we're getting started. So we're putting in the 5 cups of water into the bowl with 3 tablespoons of yeast and 3/4 cup of sugar. And we're feeding the kids simultaneously. Gonna mix all of that and let that proof and get foamy, and I'll be back later. It's been about 10 minutes. The yeast is nice and proofed and fluffy. Now I'm gonna be adding in about 6 cups of the high gluten flour. And we're gonna make a paste out of it and then follow up with all of the rest of these ingredients. Then I'll be adding in the 3 eggs, the oil, and the salt. Mine is pink because it's the pink Himalayan salt. So I'm just gonna mix all of that and take the time to pray. Now at this point, I'm just adding in a few cups at a time and mixing it, and all the while just praying. We don't have to only pray for what's happening in Israel. We could also pray for our own issues or things that we're dealing with. Everyone has things that they're dealing with, right? So this is the time to just open your hearts out and ask for whatever it is that you may need. Now that we're done making the dough, I'm gonna spray some oil in the pan, place the dough inside, spray a little more oil over the top,
let it rest.
And let it rest. It's been over an hour. The dough has risen really, really nicely. I just had to put all my kids to sleep, get that all done. And now it's time to do the actual blessing portion of it, the actual Hafrashat Challah blessing. I did create an Etsy guide. This way I just keep it in a sheet protector. I have everything that you need to say, have what Ashkenazim usually say, what Sephardim usually say, what you say when you actually tear off the piece of bread, and the Yehi Ratzon, which is a nice blessing to say. Also, I'll leave a link to this in the description box below if you're interested in printing this out for yourself. And whenever you're making bread, it's just a nice thing to have. So let's do this together. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להפריש חלת תרומה. הרי זו חלה. Now it's time to do the actual shaping. I took a handful of dough, 3 parts of it. I'm going to be separating each into 4. So I should have 4 times 3, which is 12 pieces. We're going to be making the Star of David to keep with the theme. I roll out each and make it into a log and stretch it out a bit. And I do that with all of the other ones. And to roll out each log even further, I keep this part fat, the center of it fat, and the ends I roll out to become skinny. This way it just looks a little bit prettier when we're making the shape. So I don't really touch the middle, and I concentrate on the sides. So now we have 4 strands. I'm going to be pinching the top of it, and the mantra is number 2 over, 1 in the middle, and then you flip. So first it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the number 2, and then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this will be the number 2. So let's do it together. So 1, 2, 2 over, And this number 1 is going into the middle of these 2. And now it's the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 over and 1 in the middle of these 2. And once you're done, you have something that looks like this, and I'm gonna make another 2 of them. So again, I'm gonna flatten out the outer portions, keeping the middle intact, so it could be nice and fluffy in the middle. And we set up again. So again, 2 over, 1 in the middle. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 over, 1 in the middle. 2 over, 1 in the middle. 2 over, 1 in the middle. And just keep going, alternating sides until your whole challah is done and braided. You can obviously make any shape with any amount of braids. This is just something cute to do. What ended up happening was that it was not fitting here. It was a little too large. So I cut off all those skinny ends, and I'll show you what we'll do with them. So in essence, we just made a triangle. And we're going to take these extra pieces and we're going to form the other parts of the Magen David. All of the chalot are braided. I have 1 egg here with like a tablespoon of water that I'm going to be beating thoroughly, and I'm going to egg wash the challahs with it, and then place some sesame seeds over the top.